Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're breaking down something a lot of Apple fans didn't see coming, and that's Apple scaling back its brand new design called Liquid Glass, and which is going to be released in iOS 26. That's right. In just 3 beta versions, the most exciting version of iOS 26 has already been, let's say, toned down. So what happened? Was it just too ambitious? Or was Apple listening to user feedback and refining things like they should be doing? Let's dive into it in this video. So hey, real quick, I am offering one-to-one consulting calls if you have any questions with your smart home. Don't know the right product for you? Can't figure out how to operate a routine or a scene? Let me help you. Click the link down below, set up a call, and I'll help you out fix everything you need to in your smart home. Chris Orm's the name, smart home is the game. All right, so let's talk about this liquid glass thing. Apple introduced it at WWDC 2025 as the centerpiece for the iOS 26 visual overhaul. It's a dynamic, translucent design language that mimics real-life glass. Think like frosted textures, light refraction, and responsive transparency that adapts as you move throughout the system. It wasn't just meant for show. It was seen everywhere. Every single operating system that Apple has. iOS, iPadOS, macOS, even watchOS. They could be seen throughout the landscape, in buttons, banners, widgets, menus. All of them got this slick, layered glass liquid look. It added depth, it made things feel alive, and it was bold. But it didn't take long for the complaints to start rolling in. Once the first beta dropped, users already started noticing that the ultra glassy interface and experience looked cool, but it wasn't always usable. The control center, for example, the icons were hard to read, especially over complex backgrounds. In Apple Music, some of the bubbles were so transparent they blended into the interface. Pretty, yes. Practical, not really. So these designers started chiming in. Some of them loved the design, and others absolutely hated it. For instance, one Reddit thread blew up and it summed up, "It looked amazing in demos, but it's a mess in real life." So what did Apple do? Apple did what Apple does. They started dialing it back. In Beta 2, we saw that it brought a darker blur effect and a bit more contrast. And then, in the third beta, they made the biggest shift yet. Navigation bars, banners, even the notifications shade, much less translucence and much more shaded. Apple's music UI went from see-through to frosted. Control center got bolded. Everything started looking more solid and easier to read. For many, this was a massive improvement. But to others, this was an absolute betrayal. In fact, one person on Twitter said it barely looks different from iOS 18 now. Another person called it a downgrade in disguise. And honestly, I get both sides of the argument. Some people love the aesthetic, others want to just read their notifications without having extra stuff in the way. So liquid glass might be beautiful, but it's heavy. Rendering those dynamic, blurred layers in real time takes a toll on your phone's GPU. And if you're looking for anything less than the newest iPhone, that's definitely going to drain your battery. And maybe it's going to slow down your device also. So this might not be best for people rocking the older version of the iPhone. Now, taking a step back, Apple hasn't officially confirmed why they've made these changes, but if you've been following their playbook for some time, you can understand that they've probably got a lot of negative criticism. They want their users to be happy, but they need to push the line, and that's what this design change was trying to do. But they may have gone too far. So iOS 16 is still in beta, but I'm interested to see from you, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to deploy the liquid glass, or do you think they're going to take a step back? I think they're going to go forward and deploy the liquid glass, and maybe not so glassy of a fashion like version 1. If Apple was making a bad design decision, they needed this beta to go ahead and realize it. If every user was going to be upset, it's the right thing to do to go ahead and take a step back. You need to be able to push for newer designs, but you also need to understand that end user practicality is far more important than design. And I think that's the stance that Apple should take. If I was on the leadership team as Apple, that's what I would go ahead and decide, and that's how I would push forward for iOS 26. If you guys got some value out of today's video, definitely give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more smart home and Apple content, and we'll go ahead and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.